Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CINECALIBER. Today, we're going to be talking about Elio, Pixar's newest animated feature. And believe it or not, the 29th film in Disney Pixar's lineup. This was one I had high hopes for. The marketing was super vague, the trailers barely revealed anything, so there was this air of mystery around it. And as someone who loves when Pixar takes risks, I was really curious what kind of story we were getting this time around. I ended up seeing it with my kids while we were on summer vacation, and while it was definitely enjoyable and had those classic Pixar heartstrings, I walked away feeling like it's kind of a mid tier Pixar movie. Not bad, but not one of their greats. So we'll go into the plot summary here quick for you guys. So, what's Elio about? Without giving too much away, it follows an imaginative but misunderstood boy who accidentally becomes Earth's representative to a universe full of aliens. From there, he's thrown into a big cosmic adventure that's heartfelt, funny, and visually stunning. All about finding your voice and learning to embrace who you are. Pretty classic Pixar territory. It's got that emotional journey mixed with a wild high concept premise. Some background development for this film. The film actually had a pretty interesting background. It started with Adrian Molina, who co directed Coco. He came up with Elio as a reflection of his own feelings of isolation growing up. That sense of not fitting in, basically. The movie's about all about that. Elio's this kid who doesn't quite feel like he belongs on Earth, so he looks to the stars for answers. Production wise, the movie had a lot of movement behind the scenes. Madeline Sharafian and Dami Shi, who both worked on Turning Red, joined Molina during production, and the story evolved with all three of them shaping it. The film was first announced at D23 back in 2022, and it was originally set for March 2024. But after delays, creative shifts, and even industry strikes, it didn't release until June 2025. So, yeah, a lot happened between the announcement and what we eventually got. So, let's get into what was a hit here, guys. The good, the positives. Elio, it does a lot right. First off, it has a strong emotional core. Themes of loneliness, belonging, and identity really land well here. Even if the story feels familiar, the emotional beats hit sincerely. It's classic Pixar heart, simple but effective. And of course, the visuals are gorgeous. Pixar rarely misses here, and Elio is no exception. The design of the alien world, the communiverse, is stunning. The color work, the lighting, the creature designs, all beautiful. One of my favorite touches was how this film uses color to reflect emotion. On Earth, you get muted tones, some grays and browns, to show how isolated Elio feels. But once he's in space, everything becomes saturated and vivid, representing how he's starting to feel more alive and seen. It's subtle storytelling through visuals, and honestly, it's one of Pixar's strengths in this film. Another thing I appreciated, Elio works for both kids and adults. It's funny and warm, with enough emotional depth to keep parents engaged too. The pacing makes it an easy watch for families, but it still has some thoughtful layers beneath the surface. The character dynamics are really solid. Elio's relationships, especially with Olivia, his mom, and Gordon, one of the aliens, are some of the best parts of the movie. Those quieter, heartfelt moments ground the film in humanity, even in the middle of this wild sci fi setting. And I'll add, the premise itself leaves the door open for potential sequels. The idea of a kid representing Earth in a galactic council has tons of world building potential. Whether Pixar actually explores that further remains to be seen, but the setup is there if they choose to go with it. So, with all that said, let's talk about the bad. What was amiss? Now, where it really starts to stumble is in its storytelling and structure. It feels very formulaic, like Pixar playing it safe. We've got the misunderstood kid, the emotional journey, the cosmic setting, the heartfelt resolution. It's all solid, but we've seen variations of this so many times before. We have Coco, Soul, Turning Red, Inside Out, and Elio doesn't quite reach their level of depth or originality, in my opinion. The pacing is another issue. There are moments that feel rushed or underdeveloped. Some side characters pop up, seem important, and then disappear with no real payoff. You can tell there were ideas left on the cutting room floor, maybe even enough material for a follow up. And then there's the tone. The film starts off heavy, emotionally speaking, and that sadness kind of lingers throughout. It never fully lightens up. Even when it's trying to be whimsical or funny, the emotional weight is just there. But it doesn't always balance well with the adventure side. You can also you can also feel where creative compromises might have been made. Parts of the film wanted to go deeper, bolder, but pulled back, basically. Between the production delays, the leadership changes, and reports of toned down themes, you can sense that the final version was a safer choice, and it's a shame, really. The marketing didn't help either. The trailers didn't generate much buzz, and a lot of people I talked to didn't even realize this movie was coming out, which is kind of wild for a Pixar film, in my opinion. That lack of push really hurt its momentum. And while I love that the visuals tell so much of the story, the film sometimes undercuts that with over explained dialogue. It's like it doesn't fully trust its own artistry to carry the emotional beats, which is a shame because when it does let the visuals breathe, it's quite magical, guys. Um, but that was really it, guys. To wrap it up here, overall, Elio is heartfelt, it's imaginative, and it's visually gorgeous, but it's not groundbreaking. It sits comfortably in Pixar's middle tier. Families will absolutely enjoy it, and it's got that emotional sincerity you expect. But longtime Pixar fans, such as myself, might walk away wishing it aimed a little higher. So, is this a film of caliber? For me, Elio is a solid 6.5 out of 10, so it does meet the caliber standards. A solid movie with a lot of heart, but not one that pushes Pixar's boundaries the way I hoped it would. But again, that's just my opinion, guys. Um, so, what did you guys think? Did it work for you? Did you feel like it was missing something too? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear anyone's take on this. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to CINECALIBER for more casual film breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again.